Hello everyone, my name is Charlie Severino. Today I want to talk to you about a debate that comes up a lot. And people online say that the WNBA players are paid far less than what they should be, and that the salary gap is unfair because it's based on gender inequality. Today in this video, I'm going to explain to you why the WNBA makes sense for their pay, for their league, because of their current size and their revenue. And the pay gap is based on economics, essentially, and it's not gender. And today I'll show you some clips, some photos, and talk to you about some facts. So let's get into it. So first we'll talk about one very important thing, revenue. According to the Guardian website, the NBA makes about $10 billion a year, which the WNBA only makes a fraction of that. The NBA has the money to pay the players millions and millions of dollars because they're generating so much money. The WNBA, it's not on that level yet. They are a smaller business and they can't afford to pay these players all this money. The highest paid player in the NBA is Jason Tatum. He makes $313 million in his salary. And the highest paid player in the WNBA is Jackie Young, who makes $504,000. Here's some clips of Jason Tatum compared to Jackie Young. Now that you've seen some clips from Jason Tatum and Jackie Young, you can tell Jason Tatum is just a world-class talent athlete. As Jackie Young, nothing taken away from her. She's a spectacular athlete in her own league. But when it comes down to it, more people are going to tend to lean towards the NBA talent compared to the WNBA talent. Now, the WNBA rookie minimum is $66,000. People say it's really unfair, but it's really not. It's economics. A league can only pay players what they earn. They can't pay them more than they even have. Now let's talk about marketing sizes. Another huge thing when it comes down to this is the marketing. The NBA, they do star-powered marketing, which essentially is their biggest names, LeBron James, Steph Curry, huge names that's known globally. And here's a picture of Steph Curry's Instagram compared to a top player in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark's Instagram. Now that you've seen that, you can tell huge difference with the following. But that's nothing against Caitlin Clark. She's a tremendous talent, by far one of the best players in the WNBA. But you can tell that there's a large margin of difference between the following of a top WNBA player and a top NBA player. The WNBA is big on purpose-driven marketing. They highlight teamwork, empowerment, and community. It builds loyalty in their league, and they don't bring in the same global entertainment and traffic, which ultimately leads to less revenue and less ticket sales and less marketing sponsorships and TV deals, meaning this affects their salaries. They cannot be paid nearly as much as the NBA. Another thing is the WNBA was started in 1997. They have fewer players and less teams than the NBA, which that does not help with bringing in more money required to pay these players. Now we'll be talking about collective bargaining and player advocacy. Some people argue that the gap is based on gender equality, but the WNBA's compensation system is based on the players that come together to place an agreement on how the contracts are negotiated through themselves and the whole league. Here's a clip of WNBA players wearing shirts pre-game that is telling the owners and the league officials to pay the players. Since then, the league has risen 30% in their salaries, which has also added travel benefits and maternity benefits. It is improving their financial structure while not ruining the league. If the WNBA wanted to pay these players so much, the league would eventually collapse as they would run out of money. So the real question isn't why don't the WNBA players get paid the same as the NBA players? It's what the WNBA players and the league can afford. Here's a clip of the WNBA crowd compared to an NBA crowd.
Who will be the hero? Calderon throws it in. Carter in the corner. Got it.
Yes, far different. But as the league continues to grow, the advertisements and sponsorships will go up and the salaries of the players will continue to incline. So at the end of the day, it's not about emotion, it's about money. If the WNBA had the money, they'd pay the players what they want. But the WNBA does not have the money that the NBA has, so they cannot pay the same salaries that the men's basketball players are getting. It's a business. If a business were to spend more than what they had, they'd eventually collapse. But as sponsorships and other things happen, the money will rise and so will the salaries. Thank you so much for watching.